Just imagine this scene in your mind once. The whole world is running toward electric cars. Every company is only talking about batteries, charging, and range. Big names like Tesla and BYD are trying to get ahead in this race. But in the middle of all this, Mazda did something that no one even expected. Mazda tried to directly change the game. They brought their old Rotary engine back to life, but this time it is not like before. This time, they have put such a new brain into it that it becomes not just an engine, but a smart system. It means this car takes the benefit of petrol and also gives the power of electric at the same time. Now think. While other companies are busy finding charging stations and increasing battery range, Mazda has chosen a path where you don't have to worry much about all these things. You just drive the car, you get power, you get good mileage, and you don't have to constantly stress about charging. That is why now there is a buzz in the auto industry. Because this is not just a new technology, but a different thinking, a way that can end the fight between EV and petrol. But the biggest question is still standing. Can this step become a threat for companies like Tesla and BYD? In the coming years, is the whole EV market going to turn in a new direction? In this video, we will go deep into this story. What exactly Mazda has built that other companies could not, and why people are calling it a game changer. So stay till the end. Because what is about to unfold can completely change your thinking. Before moving ahead in the video, make sure you subscribe to the channel so you can get such powerful and new updates first. First of all, if we want to properly understand Mazda's new engine, then we need to go a little back and understand its story and its position in the market. Because this is not an ordinary company, but a company that has been quietly competing with big brands without making too much noise. Mazda started in 1920 in Hiroshima, and at that time its name was Toyo Cork Kogyo Company Limited. In that era, it was not a car company, but it used to make machines and tools. But slowly, the company changed its direction, and in 1931, it launched its first vehicle, Mazda Go, which was a small three-wheeled truck. That is where the real game started. Then came the phase that shook the entire world. The World War II. Many companies in Japan completely collapsed, but Mazda did not give up. It handled itself, stood up again, and the most important thing, it decided to think differently from others. When other companies were focusing on simple small cars, Mazda chose a path that was risky: rotary engine technology. In the 1960s, when Mazda Cosmo Sport 110S was launched, people understood that this company is playing a completely different game. It was not just a car, but it became Mazda's identity, an identity of innovation. In today's time, Mazda is not a small company. Its network is spread across more than 120 countries, and its name is taken among brands that consider driving not just travel, but a feeling. Mazda's main focus is driving matters, which means driving a car should not just be a task, but an experience. That is why the design, handling, and road feel of its cars are on a different level. Now, if we talk about the market, Mazda may not be as big as Tesla or Toyota, but its biggest strength is its loyal customers. Whoever buys a Mazda once often chooses Mazda again. In 2023, the company sold around 1.2 million cars, which is quite a big number on its own. In this, the biggest role was played by the SUV segment, where cars like Mazda CX-5 and Mazda CX-60 gave strong support to the company. And the special thing is that in markets like the United States, Mazda is seen as affordable luxury, meaning the price is not too high, but the feel is completely premium. That is why Mazda slowly and without too much hype, has created its own unique identity. And now, when you have understood this entire journey, the next step that Mazda has taken becomes even more interesting. In the last few years, when the entire auto industry was running straight toward electric cars, Mazda played a slightly different game. Other companies were busy launching EVs quickly, but Mazda did not rush. It focused on its Skyactiv technology. That means making the engine more fuel-efficient, lighter, and pocket-friendly. In simple words, Mazda chose the middle path. It neither completely left petrol nor fully depended on electric. And this balance has become its biggest identity. If we talk about the global market, Mazda's share is not very big, but it is very steady. By 2024, its market share was around 2%, which may sound small, but the special thing is that the company stays connected with its customers even without too much noise and heavy advertising spending. The direct reason for this is smooth performance, design, and that driving feel which gives a slightly different experience every single time. Mazda's Kodo design philosophy, which means the soul of movement, still attracts people visually and gives it a unique identity. Mazda's strength is not just design or performance, but also its trust and craftsmanship. Even today, most of its cars are made in Japan, where Takumi, meaning expert craftsman, carefully build every car with full attention. Here, the focus is more on quality than quantity. That is why, even if Mazda has fewer models, every car comes with its own identity and stays in people's memory. Now, the story becomes even more interesting here, because Mazda's focus is once again shifting back toward engine technology. And this is where its new Rotary engine enters, which has suddenly grabbed the attention of the whole world. When companies like Tesla and BYD were busy pushing battery and charging technology forward, at the same time, Mazda was planning something completely different. Now the real question starts from here. What is there in this new engine that makes it so special? Why is it being seen as a warning for the EV industry? And what move has Mazda played that is once again pulling the entire industry's attention toward itself? So let's move ahead and understand this technology closely. Mazda's secret technology. How this engine became a game changer. Now we come to the thing that truly shocked the entire auto industry. Mazda's special technology, because of which its new rotary engine suddenly came into the spotlight. The rotary engine has always been Mazda's identity. But this time the case is a little different. The problems it had earlier, this time the company has fixed them to a large extent. In simple words, they picked up the old technology and fully upgraded it according to modern times, so that it can fit perfectly in today's world. Now let's understand in simple language what a rotary engine actually is. In a normal engine, pistons move up and down, but here the story is opposite. There is a rotor that keeps rotating, and that is what generates power. Because of this, the engine is smaller, lighter, and very smooth. But earlier, there was a big problem. It consumed more petrol and used to heat up quickly. These two things were its biggest weaknesses, and this is exactly where Mazda has played the real game this time. Mazda has added direct injection technology to its new rotary engine. And this means that now the fuel goes directly and very precisely into the place where it needs to burn. Earlier, this level of control was not there, because of which some fuel used to get wasted. But now every drop is being used properly, which has increased power and also improved mileage. So where earlier this engine was considered a bit inefficient, now that same thing is starting to look like its strength. The second big change is heat control, meaning thermal management. Old rotary engines used to heat up quickly because their cooling system was not strong enough. But now Mazda has changed the entire internal system, with new cooling jackets and a better airflow design. Because of this, the engine temperature stays under control, and the risk of overheating becomes much lower. And the direct benefit of this is that the engine will be more durable and will perform properly for a longer time. The third big thing, reducing friction. Mazda has made the moving parts inside the engine smoother and lighter than before. For this, special coatings like DLC, diamond-like carbon, have been used. This reduces friction between parts, and the engine runs more smoothly and quietly. Earlier, the sound of rotary engines used to be a bit different and noticeable, but now it has become much quieter, giving a smooth feel almost like electric cars. And now, the most interesting thing, its size. This engine is so compact that it can easily be fitted with a battery and motor. It means more space is saved inside the car. You can either install a bigger battery or make the cabin more spacious. And that is why many experts are calling it a mechanical marvel. A small package, but fully loaded with power from the inside. Now it becomes clear that Mazda has not just brought the engine back, but has taken it to a completely new level. And from here, the question becomes even bigger. Can this technology really compete with EVs? Or is it just a smart backup plan? What comes next is the most interesting part. Now things become even more interesting, because this Mazda engine is not just mechanical. It also has a brain inside it. In a way, this is a smart engine. The company has installed an advanced ECU, engine control unit, in it, which keeps monitoring the engine's condition every second. It automatically decides how much air and how much fuel should be mixed, so that the best performance is achieved in every situation. Whether it is cold weather, city traffic, or high-speed highway driving, this engine adjusts itself accordingly. Now, the real twist comes here. Mazda has connected this rotary engine with a hybrid system. That means this engine no longer directly drives the wheels, but instead generates electricity. That electricity goes into the battery, and then the electric motor runs the car. This gives two big advantages. First, the load on the engine is reduced, and second, fuel consumption becomes much lower. And this is exactly the point where companies like Tesla and BYD might start thinking, because Mazda has tried to solve the charging and range problem in a completely different way. But the story does not end here. See, Mazda has also worked a lot on the durability of this engine. A new sealing technology has been added inside it, which almost eliminates air or fuel leakage. The direct meaning of this is, the engine will be more reliable, will last longer, and maintenance problems will also reduce. Earlier, questions were raised about the life of rotary engines, but now the company has improved it to a great extent. One more thing that makes it future-ready: this engine is multi-fuel capable. That means, if in the coming time options like synthetic fuel or hydrogen become common, this engine can run on them as well. It means Mazda has not designed this just for today, but keeping many coming years in mind. In simple words, this is not an ordinary engine. Lightweight, smart fuel control, better heat management, less friction, and a hybrid setup, all these things together take it to a completely new level. That is why experts around the world are saying that Mazda has not just brought back the old rotary engine, but has fully upgraded it and given it a completely new identity. Performance and range. Beyond EVs. Now, if we talk straight about what makes Mazda different from other companies, the answer is its way of thinking differently and its strong performance. Today, when the whole world is running toward electric cars, Mazda has found a smart path. A combination of hybrid and rotary engine that gives the best of both worlds together. And this same combination is slowly becoming a headache for the EV industry. Mazda has taken its old rotary engine and connected it with a new hybrid system. But this is not a simple hybrid. This is a range extender hybrid system. It means the engine does not directly drive the wheels, but only generates electricity. That electricity goes into the battery, and then the motor runs the car. So the driving feel becomes completely electric-like, silent, smooth, and without any jerks. But from behind, the engine quietly keeps doing its job, so the car never comes to a stop. The biggest feature of this system is that you don't have to worry about charging again and again. No hassle of finding charging stations, no waiting for hours. Just fill fuel and keep going. The engine keeps charging the battery on its own. This is what is called zero charging anxiety, which is the biggest problem for EV users today. While companies like Tesla and BYD are spending heavily to build charging networks, Mazda has played the game differently. It has changed the way of solving the problem itself. Now, let's talk about performance. Mazda has tuned this entire system so precisely that you won't even feel when the engine turns on or off. The acceleration is so smooth that the car feels like it is flying. As soon as you press the accelerator, you get instant power, without any jerk at all. That is why the feel is exactly like an EV. Mazda claims that this system can almost double the car's range. Where a normal electric car asks for charging after 400 to 500 kilometers, this setup can easily go up to 800 to 1,000 kilometers, without the headache of charging. Now a big question naturally comes up. If a car is giving you EV-like driving, and also generating its own electricity, then what is the need to charge it again and again? A Mazda has not only focused on power and range, but also on silence and comfort. Earlier, the Rotary engine had a slightly different and louder sound, but now the company has added sound-absorbing panels and vibration control technology. The result is that inside the cabin, there is almost complete silence. It feels like you are sitting inside a premium electric car, where there is no noise and no vibration. Mazda clearly says, this system gives the best of both worlds, electric-like smooth driving and petrol-like freedom. No tension of charging, no fear of range, and no compromise in performance. When the battery gets low, the engine automatically turns on. And when the battery becomes full, it turns off on its own. All of this happens so smoothly that the driver doesn't even notice. He just keeps driving comfortably. Mazda has made this engine so small and light that even after adding the hybrid system, the car does not feel heavy. And this is its real strength. When the weight is low, the balance of the car becomes better, mileage improves, and performance also becomes faster. As soon as you press the accelerator, the car responds instantly, like suddenly some extra power has come from inside. And because the engine is compact, friction inside is also less, which gives very smooth and consistent power delivery. The acceleration feels so straight and flowing that you get a complete EV-like experience. Mazda has not only focused on speed and power, but has also tried to take the driving experience to another level. The company's engineers have created such a setup where the suspension is specially tuned so that road bumps feel less. Along with that, advanced noise control and smooth, gearless transitions have been given. The result is that while driving, everything feels very natural and fluid, like everything is happening at the right time on its own, without any jerk or interruption. Now we come to the part where the real movement begins, the impact on the global market. Whenever any company brings something new, its effect does not stay limited to that company, but it creates a wave across the entire industry. Mazda's new hybrid rotary system has done something similar. Big companies, which had invested heavily in EVs, are now pausing and thinking, did they choose the right direction, or did they miss something? The first impact has been seen on the electric car market. Companies like Tesla, BYD, Hyundai, Kia, and Volkswagen were focused on batteries, charging speed, and network expansion. But Mazda slightly changed the game. It tried to solve the charging and range problem in a completely different way. When a company says that its car can run 800 to 1,000 kilometers without the hassle of charging, then naturally questions start coming into people's minds. Is it really necessary to find a charging station every time? In Europe, its impact has started to appear first. Governments there are promoting EVs, but charging infrastructure is still not fully strong everywhere. In such a situation, people are slowly leaning toward hybrid and plug-in hybrid options. Mazda's system fits perfectly here. An EV-like smooth experience, but with the freedom of petrol. Many experts believe that if Mazda brings this technology to a larger scale quickly, then a big shift can happen in Europe's hybrid segment. And in the United States, its effect is also starting to be seen. Earlier, Tesla had strong dominance, but now customers are thinking in a more practical way. They want a car that makes daily life easier, not more complicated. And that is Mazda's biggest strength. Simple, reliable, and useful. Buyers there always prefer cars that give power but do not become a headache. Some industry estimates also say that if Mazda pushes this technology fast, then in the next 2 years its market share can grow from 2% to around 4 to 5%. In simple words, Mazda has not just built an engine, but has tried to change the entire thinking. Now it will be interesting to see how other companies adapt to this change. Because the game is no longer the same. Now if we talk about Asia, its impact can be even bigger here, especially in countries like Japan and India. In Japan, a Mazda is already a well-known name, but in a country like India, where charging infrastructure is still not fully ready, this technology can change the game. Just think, what do people fear the most before buying an EV here? Charging time, electricity cost, and trust on long-distance travel. In such a case, if a car gives a completely electric-like driving feel, but charges its battery on its own using petrol, then obviously people will not take long to adopt it. That is why many are calling it a perfect solution for developing countries. Now, talking about big companies, this is not a small update for Tesla and BYD either. Tesla has always positioned itself as the future of mobility, but Mazda has shown that innovation is not limited only to batteries. On the other hand, BYD, which is strong in both EV and hybrid segments, can also face tough competition from this range extender system. In fact, reports are also hinting that companies like BYD and Hyundai are now working on similar small and efficient range extender systems, meaning Mazda has pushed the entire industry to think in a new direction. Its impact is not limited to companies, but has also reached investors. As soon as Mazda revealed this technology, movement was seen in stocks related to Japan's auto industry. Investors felt that Mazda has found a practical path that can become very strong in the next 8 to 10 years. Many analysts also believe that EV growth might slow down slightly because hybrids are once again gaining momentum, and this time they are coming in a much more advanced form. From an environmental point of view as well, Mazda has tried to change the thinking. Earlier, hybrid cars were seen as a half solution, neither fully clean nor fully traditional. But now, with better thermal efficiency and lower emissions, this system has become much more environment-friendly. That is why in Europe and Japan, many experts are seeing it as a green transition technology, a path that can gradually reduce pollution without suddenly changing the entire system. Now the biggest thing, Mazda has not just brought a new technology, but has restarted the entire debate of EV versus hybrid. Now the question is not whether the future will be only electric or not. The real question is whether a smart hybrid system, which gives the benefits of both, is more practical. Just like once the shift happened from feature phones to smartphones, now the auto industry is standing at a new turning point. And this is where Mazda's real win is hidden. it did not compete directly. It changed the whole game itself. Today, many experts are saying, Mazda did not join the EV race, it started a completely new race. And in the coming time, when people will travel long distances without stopping at charging stations, they will remember where this thinking actually started. Reaction of the EV market. A warning bell for Tesla and BYD. Look carefully. Over the past few years, the whole EV industry scene was very clear. Tesla was ahead, BYD was behind it, and the rest of the companies were trying to follow the same path. Everyone had almost the same strategy. Make bigger batteries, increase charging speed, and talk about green energy. But Mazda changed the entire game right here. It thought, if the car can generate its own electricity, then why is there a need to charge again and again? This thinking itself became a shock for the EV world. When Mazda introduced its Rotary plus hybrid range extender system, it did not just show a new technology, it raised questions on the entire model. Now, if someone gets a car that drives completely like an electric vehicle but keeps running without charging, then people will naturally think, what is the benefit of buying an expensive EV? This same question is now slowly spreading in the market, and it is becoming a concern for companies. Many experts believe that this technology can slow down the pace of EV growth. The reason is clear. Till now, the biggest weakness of EVs has been charging and infrastructure. And Tesla and BYD have spent billions on this, but Mazda has found a different path, a way where the need for charging stations itself becomes less. Now the industry is starting to look divided into two parts, one that is still focused on batteries and the other that is moving toward smart hybrid systems like Mazda. Some reports are also indicating that after Mazda's move, companies like BYD and Hyundai are accelerating their hybrid projects. On the other hand, Tesla is also facing questions from investors. If hybrid proves to be more practical, will it impact the demand for pure EV models? This uncertainty is what is currently creating movement in the market. After this, Mazda plans to bring the same system into SUVs like Mazda CX-60 and Mazda CX-90 in the next 2 to 3 years. Here the company's intention is clear, to set a new benchmark in the hybrid segment, where the engine is small, powerful, and highly efficient. Mazda has also prepared a big plan till 2030. Under this, its entire vehicle lineup will be multi-energy compatible. Some pure hybrid, some plug-in hybrid, and some electric plus range extender models. That means the company does not want to depend on just one path, but wants to keep every possible option ready. So, Mazda has not just launched an engine, it has changed the entire game. Now the question is not which EV charges the fastest, the question is whether charging will even be needed. This thinking has created both tension and excitement in the market. And as many auto experts are saying, Mazda has not joined the electric revolution. It has simply redefined it. So, well, that's all for today. If you liked this revolutionary technology of Mazda and this glimpse into the future of automobiles, then please like, share, and subscribe to the channel so that you can watch such exciting updates first.